Okay, so basically to create a procedural terrain we will need three things. We will need a plane surface to which we will apply a material that has a displacement texture, and we need to subdivide this plane enough to add geometric detail. So let's get started with the first thing. Go to Shift A, add menu, add a plane, and increase the size. Before this, because this displacement works only with cycles, so switch to cycles and enable experimental feature set here, enable GPU if available in your system, and then go to, let's start with the modifier, add enough subdivisions so we can generate our geometry for displacement. So go to modifier and add subdivision surface. Let's keep it to simple, so it will add only subdivisions without smoothing the geometry, and enable adaptive here. You can also increase the levels. By default it's limited to 6, but you can manually enter a value here if it's not sufficient. Let's keep it at level 6. So now let's go to the material. Create a new material, and in settings here make sure that the displacement is set to displacement, either displacement only or displacement and bump. I will use this later. Okay, so now we need to see our node setup. So subdivide the workspace and switch to shader editor here. Now this is the basic material setup. We need to add a texture to displacement here. So go to add menu and go to texture. We will add a wave texture. You can explore the other textures too, but for this example we will use the wave texture only. Then we need the vector displacement node, so connect this displacement to displacement socket and connect it to height here. So now we need to switch to the render viewport shading mode to see the result. This is the result. So because we added a wave, a simple wave texture, this is the result. Now let's tweak the wave texture. I prefer switching to top view, and I have the node wrangler node enabled, so I can shift control click the node here to preview this texture only. Also you can do the same in the material, and it's like faster in terms of preview times. So I will play with the distortion here. We can add more detail here. Also you can add a color ramp node here to play with the terrain or the texture, the wave texture output. So let's preview now our final result. Switch to cycles again, and here you can see that it worked somehow, but the height here, the effect, the extrusion effect, is too strong, so reduce it here. So the scale value is will control the height of our terrain. So let's increase also the size or decrease it. Okay, so this is basically how you can generate terrains in Blender procedurally, and you can mix different type of textures to generate different kind of terrains. So this is it in short. For my projects I have added more features like another plane with a water shader, and added an atmospheric shader to simulate atmosphere. So it's up to you to add more options and features to make it more realistic. So this is in short. Thank you for your time, and see you in the next tutorial. Bye.